Hey everyone, I'm Jason from Trading Games.
I'm Chris.
And welcome to a new video. And also, we did hit 3,000 subscribers.
Woo!
We asked for it last week. Hit that subscribe button and that like button.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. We really appreciated that. We wanted a goal and we got it.
Yeah, hooray.
So let's go for 1 million.
Yeah.
Eventually. And we are going to really shoot this one off the cuff. We came up with a subject. We started talking about it and I'm like, shit, let's just raw dog it.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Anyways, what we've been seeing over and over and over again, mostly on Facebook groups.
Yeah, and it might be because that's where we look at more than anything. But yeah, it's a lot on Facebook groups more than anything else.
Is the constant people asking if they should have this game graded. In any game, it doesn't matter. In what platform, it doesn't matter. A lot of people show proper pictures and ask for evaluations, and a lot of people don't show proper pictures, and a lot of people don't show pictures at all. But something and that's fine. But the admins have asked, maybe kind of lighten up on that, but this is something we wanted to dig a little deeper into it that we noticed a lot of responses are, should I send this into Wata or should I send this into VGA? And really what I keep seeing more and more often is, if you're going to sell the game, it should go to Wata. If you're going to keep the game, it should go to VGA. That baffles. That comment so blatantly spoken to new collectors, and mostly it's being spoken to new people who are joining the forums.
That's true.
We and other forum members who post a lot and read a lot and share their wealth and what they have learned, what we say really impacts the decisions these people make.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I'm not like against VGA at all, and I am a Wata fanboy. I mean, that's fine, but I really think I think a lot of people are just like just saying it without why?
I think something I hear a lot of people say is that, so two things to really identify is that Wata is the only graded games that Heritage will accept. So when I hear people saying that they think Wata is a good thing to sell, it's because it has this additional layer of liquidity to it. Something that we talk about a lot. We both enjoy Heritage a lot. I like working with them. I've had nothing but smooth sailing with them. I've had zero issues from start to finish. They have been easy to work with. They have been communicative enough with me that I have no issues and things like that. The checks show up, and for both of us, I think I personally just recently had one unpaid buyer, but out of 15 games, that's way better than eBay odds. And basically in that instance, the solution is either they sell it to the underbidder, they send it to the underbidder, they re-auction it, or I could just have it back. So, and it didn't cost me anything. It's just oh, that's unfortunate. And I completely understand why the game that the person didn't buy, why it happened. I won't get into that. But it makes sense. At least I can figure it out myself, right? But so people like that, but you're seeing a lot more sales on not just Heritage now. VGA games, Wata games, they're doing well on Facebook and Instagram and eBay.
I just think the comment itself, if you're going to sell Wata, it seems to be what almost everybody says. If you're going to keep it, VGA. I think that is actually, it's just an opinion, and that's what we want: comments and questions beneath in this video. This is a great one for lots of feedback and lots of talkback. But I actually think that was very, very true last year.
Yeah.
And I think that tide is completely changing. I think that VGA games are selling just as well almost now as Wata games.
I totally agree with
that.
On
the market, directly in the Facebook groups and eBay and just direct sales with people. So when that's the conversation that we want to have, is that these new people coming in and posting, and finding stuff and them being directed, I really think they need to be educated better, and hopefully videos like this, well, it would just confuse them more. But there is a lot of merit to going, because both companies are very different in the way they grade games. So it's a lot of people are breaking it down. Also, wanting to work the system a little bit. Like, well, you have cellophane damage on this one, so it shouldn't go to VGA.
Correct.
It should go to Wata because it's going to get an A. Yep.
And
but your grade is still be high, and they're just working the intricacies between the two companies also. So that's something that should be considered.
I totally agree with that. And like, again, to your point, if number one, if your question is should I get this game graded, that's completely up to your own prerogative and what you want to do with it. And we've said that before. We both like grading games. We're both mostly selling graded games, but we do keep some.
Yeah, I've been keeping quite a few.
You've kept a lot more than I have. Yeah. And so that's your choice. If you want to use VGA or Wata, that is also your choice. No one can tell you which is right or wrong because there isn't a right or wrong. A lot of that boils down to personal preference and what you like. I personally like the way Wata games display better. But even today I saw someone ask this exact question. I mean, like, quite literally you see this question
all day long. I mean, multiple times a day.
I was off Facebook for the past 2 weeks. I've been back for 48 hours, and I've probably seen the question at least 10 times. Like, and that's not even an exaggeration. Like, I tend to exaggerate sometimes, but like, it's not even an exaggeration. But their point was, it was 2 Super Nintendo games. It was Ninja Gaiden Trilogy and Pocky and Rocky 2. And he said exactly verbatim, like, hey, I'm trying to convince my friends to get it graded. Should he use Wata or VGA? What do you guys think? And someone brought up the point that they think that he should send the Super Nintendo games to VGA because Wata doesn't display Super Nintendo games horizontally. And he doesn't like the way that displays because Wata displays Super Nintendo games upright like this.
Right.
Well, that's a valid point, right?
But Wata games lay sideways just great. But then
you can do the 3D banner too.
Well, yeah, that flat thing. Yeah. And that actually is kind of cool. But it's still all vertical printing and stuff. So it's all just about opinions. Yep. And that's fine. We all have opinions and everything. I think on certain games you can really work if you're going to be selling a game. Yeah, I think you can really fine tune it and pick this over that. Where it's going to go. And but at this point, I think that. The gap is closing between the two.
Oh, very much so.
In if you're going to be selling the game.
And, there's a lot of people that have been... Wata's much newer, right? Wata, I'm just going to call it 3 years. A little bit longer, maybe a little less, but we'll call it 3 years. VGA is probably 8. I'm guessing that. Probably 8, right? There's a lot of people that were collecting sealed games and graded games, didn't even have Wata as an option. A lot of these people have nice VGA games in their collections as well, so that is always something to think about. There's personal vested interest for some people's answers in every single way for what they like, right? There's some people that really want Wata to do well. There's some people that really want VGA to do well. If you go back and watch a lot of our videos, you'll see a lot of times, and I've said it, like, I think they both just help each other, right? Definitely. The market itself is raising with each other, and high-ticket VGA sales on eBay doesn't hurt Wata, and high-selling Wata sales on Heritage doesn't hurt VGA in the slightest. Yep. They're both so backed up, it's going to take a long time to get your games. So they're doing very well, right? They're using the service themselves. Like, people are using these services, and they're happy with these services, which is why they're so inundated with games. And the market, I just had someone buy a Wata game off my eBay that's been up for like a month or so, and he just messaged me and said, like, hey, I've been into cards and now I'm getting into video games and da-da-da-da. There's new people that are getting into just buying the graded games. I do think, like, wouldn't even say this is opinion. If you don't give credit to the notoriety to Wata's success, I mean, Wata has put in the work to make this as prevalent as it is, and there's no doubt about that. Definitely. VGA did not do the rampant scale that it has, so I think that's true. But yeah, again, I think it boils down to preference. Neither of us have really done a lot of VGA stuff. I own one VGA game personally that I bought at a game store a while ago. I even thought about crossing it. It's a 95. It's a Wii game. It's just Mario Kart, but I just have kept it so far. It's just in a tub in my basement.
So in kind of keeping with that Mario Kart you got.
Yep.
when you first approached that Mario Kart, you actually kind of were considering, I'm cracking this and
I was going to resub it.
Yeah. And you're...
But the term crossover is what
Yeah, crossover. And you've changed. Yeah, well, right, you're just on hold because the market is changing that fast.
And I'll just be fully transparent and direct. I saw this particular graded 95 Mario Kart Wii in local friend's YouTube, Retro Tony. Hi, thanks, bud.
Cool.
And he was cool. Well done. And I just saw it in the video, and the store was like 3.5 hours away, and it was $90. And I was like, man, that seems like a really good deal. And I was already headed to Kansas, so I called them. They said they still had it. I bought it, and then my buddy offered me $300 the same day I got it. Selling for about $1,500 on eBay now, and I got that in November. Yeah. So to me, it was like, okay, well, the value, I don't even know if I needed to send it to Wata. Like, the 95 is going to cross over to likely a 988++.
You bought it to resell.
Yeah, I did buy it to resell.
And there's probably no need to spend more money.
Correct.
Now.
But you know what I do have? A Mario Kart sitting at Wata right now that I bought raw and submitted, so I have both.
And so do I.
And
I will
both have a Mario Kart Wii.
And mine went in after his. So.
And hey,
it's easy to sell game.
I believe in Wii, and Wii's going to have its time. And again, I mean, obviously eBay comms, like, you have to be careful, but like, there is multiple sales of this. I think that, you know, a lot of people wonder why Heritage only works with Wata, and I can speak in their words. This isn't even our words. This is just from when they did their like state of the video game market address, and they just essentially said that they feel like the Wata grading scale is a little bit more transparent for at least their clientele. I came from comics, so it translated to me really simply. 9.8, 9.6, so on and so forth. That's just what makes sense. We've said this before. Wata works off a comic grading scale. VGA works off the action figure grading scale. VGA confuses me. There's an 85, 85 silver, 85 silver plus, 85 gold. Like, there's so many variables that I don't actually 100% get it. Like, I mean, I do. I look at it enough at this point now. But I definitely wouldn't be able to be like, oh, well, this one's the gold and not the regular. And so I think that's what they were worried about with the customers. But you're seeing places like Certified Link and Comic Connection and stuff like that. They're selling VGA no problem, and they're selling well, and they're selling well for people. Again, my personal taste, I just think Wata looks better, and that's why I like it. I think that they have more attractive displays, and that's why I like their service. What I like about VGA personally, I'm a big PC gamer too, and Wata doesn't do PC right now, so I've talked about this before.
Custom sizing stuff's awesome.
Yeah, you know, I really want a nice Diablo 2 battle chest, you know, and so that's something I've just kind of had in my want list for a while. I figured I'd pay somewhere between $100 and $250 for it. You know, some of these games are even pricing me out, you know, in some instances. Like, there's one game I have nostalgia for. You know, my mom watches all of our videos, so I always tell this story that this is the only video game my mom has ever played with me in my life, and it took me years to remember what it was, and it was called Tubin on the NES. It's a Tengen game. And I just saw one on, you know, Facebook for sale, and I was like, oh, maybe I'd buy that. And it wasn't $3,500. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want Tubin that bad. And is there, like, someone really wants to pay $3,500 for Tubin? Maybe. Yeah, it's that good, right? But, like, I didn't realize it was that popular.
Yeah, you know? It's hard to find that game sealed.
I don't discredit that at all. It was hard to find that game for me loose.
Yeah, hardly ever comes in.
Yeah. I also say, like, when I say hard to find, like, a lot of things you can just find on eBay. So, like, if you want to lose Tubin, you can just, like, go on eBay right now. Like, I'm not, please don't take what I'm saying.
Organically flowing through stores.
Correct.
Hard to find.
I like to
not
look
rare.
for games. Yeah,
not rare.
Also true.
Just
not rare.
Harder to find.
But yeah, you don't see Tubin too often. You just don't.
It's not even expensive loose.
No, it's like, you know, like $20.
Yeah, $20.
Which is fairly expensive for what it was probably like 10, and now it's like 20, 25. But yeah.
So we would really like to see people's comments on how they feel about that, and maybe there'd be long replies like, why tell somebody this and why tell somebody that, and it's fine. They ask for guidance, and we try to guide them. Yep. And the new people that come in, it's just we need to kind of watch how we guide them. They are listening to what we say, and that's fine. That's why they ask. But you know, the market's really changing fast too. So this advice, of course, they come and go. A lot of the people new, they get their game and sell it and everything. So, you know, that's fun. Maybe to finish up this video, with what our experience right now with Wata, so people always ask, you just got some games back and they were almost 60 days?
I had a 15-day order, took 55 business days shipped. So yeah, I mean, I got it back in 2 months, basically.
We believe in transparency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
so that was my personal order on a March 18th. I submitted it March 18th, so that was like a Thursday. I just assumed it made it March
days.
when it was 15 days, and now it's 35. I assumed just by that it made it on Monday the 21st, and then it was business day 55 exactly when they shipped it. And then
I got an order out. Maybe in the next video I'll have mine back by then. We'll have some numbers.
I have 2 more orders sitting with them right now still. They are grading it. I will say my most latest order that I have with them, they just emailed me about one of the games in there yesterday. So when they say they're grading, I know it sits in the grading stage for like a really long time, but they are like that enough said to me they like are actively grading it. They were like, we're grading it. Hey, we got a question. They emailed me, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what happened with that. And so even though it's like my other order is ahead of it and still in the grading stage, it's a cycle. It takes a long time.
So that's a game you're probably going to get. Oh, it doesn't matter, but you're probably going to get that one back. Yeah. I've declined to have some games graded.
Yeah.
Because they didn't authenticate right. It just happens.
Yeah, I really want the other game of that order graded.
And then I end up getting that back in the mail weeks before my order comes.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And then but yeah, that's just like kind of the transparency that we have. We share that all the time when people ask, and a lot of people share, Monday 60. Yep. But then we hear lots of weird things like mine's still out from May of last year, and it's like, wait, we don't understand the circumstances there, and we don't know how true all those things are either. We couldn't verify them, nevertheless. And sometimes Wata actually chimes into those,
Every now and then, yeah.
Like, really we see a couple times.
But kind of like I said, we feel like we definitely have to make sure we're transparent when we educate people, but like we're also willing to learn. So we don't know that much about VGA. So as we talk about in the comments, like, feel free to share and educate, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I always ask is like try to actually like saying the right information, right? So it's really easy to be like, I don't like X cause Y. But like, give good points and be constructive and elaborate and have open dialogue where people can learn from it as opposed to just giving like a definitive point that you are infallibly correct. That's just kind of an internet trait.
You hear things on the groups from people, and we often hear like a skewed response of just negativity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just with anything. If you own a car, you hear about all the bad things the car is breaking. If you own a certain microwave, you always get on reviews, and all the reviews are bad because that's all people bother to share. Yeah. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt when you hear negative reviews for services that are being rendered too, and take a breath back. Everybody, pretty much, you will get your games.
Yeah. I just always think of the Simpsons GIF where they're like running with the torches and stuff like that, and that's just kind of how the internet itself seems to me most of the time nowadays. But thanks for watching.
It's true. It's on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Let's keep adding more subscribers and hit those comments. Huge on this video.
If we make it to 1 million, I'll shave my head.
That's not worth it.
Yeah. It would take a whole 15 seconds. Come on, it was supposed to be a trick.
All right, bye. I missed that.
That's that Wata money, baby. New Balance.